Alexa, off. What's up, everybody? Oh, we got the Alexa timer. Good morning. We're going to play a little music and we'll go live. You got to set your Alexa for a 9:19 timer.
Breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, "Son, don't fear." Mike's where the page life is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters. They don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells you, friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, good morning. I forgot my timer today, Shelly. God, we had this production thing down for the whole year. Now when things get active, I left my counter off. And I had the microphone on, and you heard my Alexa this morning go off. Oh, my goodness. Do you remember we set the Alexa a few months ago? It seems like it still goes off every day at 9:19. All right, so what's up, everybody? Good morning. My name is Mike. This is Mike's weather page. This is Louie. Everybody needs a little Louie in the morning. Everybody needs to just chill, like Louie. Not worry. No reason to worry. No one has any idea yet. The only ones that need to be worried right now is the Bermuda. They got hurricane force winds coming Thursday night. But we're going to talk about everything. This is the Daily Brew, and we welcome everybody. We streaming live. There's my good grammar. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So good morning. I'll be on the Drew Graba show today, by the way, 2:45. Excited about that. I love my boys, John and Drew. So just remember, nothing's official on my page. Nothing I'm going to show you is official. We look at spaghetti models. I'm not an official source of information. That's an important disclaimer. If you're worried about the system, if you got nerves and you're worried about what you're seeing, then 100% National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center are your best source of information. They only go out 5 days for a reason, because past 5 days it's really hard to predict pass and what we might be seeing. But with that being said, I'm going to show the worst case scenario, because as you know, Mike likes to hype. That's what I've been told. Maybe Louie could just stay on my lap today. I don't know. He's so chill today. He came up on my lap a little bit ago. I think he knew it was time to go live. So anyway, we're going to say hey to some folks. Listen, I've been doing these little YouTube videos and trying to keep it short and sweet on that. So if you don't like all this stuff, cool. I'm doing these little video updates going very well. But I like to say hi to everybody. Hey, look at that. Annie Anderson, a 24-month subscriber. You see that, Shelly? That's a new little thing Facebook just did. Thank you for 2 years of support. Brittany Williams, good morning. What's up, Kelly? Dawsonville. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Bill Elliott. What's up, Stephanie Cagle? Morning, Fred from Shalimar. What the heck is that? Tampa Bay on the worst side for now. Good morning, Ryan from Virginia. Thomas. Appreciate the hype comment. Universal Contractor. Hey, what's up, Mr. Nick Walker? Our YouTube channel sponsored by our good friends at Universal. By the way, since they're online, you got to check this out. It's getting close to the nominate a veteran time. They're giving away a free roof to someone here in Florida. You can nominate a veteran to get a new roof. It's an awesome promo. They did it last year. We promoted a lot. I've been announcing it a lot here on our page. So it's a good time to bring this up in Florida. If you got a veteran you would like to nominate for a free roof. Nothing better than that, right? So check that out. There's a link right on the very top here of their page. But, all right, I'm going to put Louis down. He's actually falling asleep. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Cayman Islands for sure. We got a long, slow road ahead of this Invest 98. As my phone's ringing now. Crazy. Let's see who else we got chiming in. Stan Fort Myers, William from Naples. What's up there? Shelly from Charleston. Rebecca's ready to see the dog. Well, there you go. I'll probably pull up Hunter here in a little bit. He's not making a lot of snorts right now, so we're not going to bother Hunter. he was a snorting fool yesterday. And, yeah, there you go. So we'll probably do live again tonight. We did one last night at 6. We'll announce if we're going to do one later today. Our Daily Brew is brought to you by our good friends here from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. We really appreciate their support here. I have a feeling you might need to be stocking up on your storm supplies. Have you seen that commercial yet? They've been running all over the state. That's right. If you're in the middle of the night and you flip through channels and you think you see me on your big screen, it is. They did an awesome commercial. And I have a feeling Florida folks might be stocking their storm supplies this weekend. So there's no better place for a hurricane party than our good friends at ABC. All right, so let's talk about models. The 12Z. So here's the big picture. Let's talk about the big picture first. Oh, God. Now Louis over there licking Hunter, so he's starting to snort now. Here we go. Forgotten Coast. Who's forgotten? Nobody's ever forgotten. I got my skeleton, by the way. So everybody grab their coffee. Cheers. Emily's got an A in math right now. Thanks to our good friends at Mathnasium. An A, man. I've been showing you the progression of Emily's school. Straight A's right now. Let's keep it up, Emily. I got a big surprise for her coming. Oh, I got Morgan Wallen tickets. Just don't tell her. I know she didn't watch me. All right, so here's the big picture. Holy cow, man. So everybody thought the tropics were going to be done, right? No. We've been telling everybody that the environment is way too favorable for tropics. So here's what the map looks like this morning. We have Gaston is wasted. I feel like that would have been the perfect storm for the Gulf, Gaston, because we had all the pictures and everything. Now we're probably looking at Hermine. And I think Hermine could be the dude from the Munsters, right? Or that girl from Harry Potter. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. So Gaston is kind of spinning around out here. Might get close to the Azores, but the latest tracks just kind of have it out here. There you go. So this little guy popped out of nowhere. I've never seen a storm hug the coast of Africa before. That's kind of weird. This little guy's tricky. I don't even know what this one's all about. It's definitely a wave. We're not going to worry about him today. Fiona, unfortunately, is going to pass really close to Bermuda. They're going to see possibly 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts Thursday night. And then, unfortunately, this thing's going to be a 920, 930 millibar system nearing Nova Scotia and Newfoundland this weekend. Newfoundland. I always butcher names. Big story still. Fiona, I think Category 4 now. It's amazing. It's so close, but yet so far. And then, of course, this is 98. This is what we're going to talk about the most here today is Invest 98. So there you go. And And I will show some stuff on Bermuda here in a little bit, but I know most people are here right now for the 98, so we're going to talk about 98 first, and then we'll talk about Fiona and what they can expect. All right, so here's a graphic we haven't shown in a while. This is a good one. This is your precipitable water map. I like it. I forgot about it this season. There's so many things to look at. I always forget a lot of cool models. Actually, our good friend Bobby Hurricane Harbor, you shared this morning on Twitter, and I forgot about it. I haven't used it in a while. This is your water in the atmosphere. It's an awesome satellite loop. This little guy is 98. It's got a lot of spinach already. I'm going to show you. The reason we're watching it is because it's got good spinach at lower mid levels. It's not developed right now, but you can see it in the water precipitable map here. It's got spin. Our new wave that they just marked yellow is starting to get a little spin. It's a natural process to get spin along this monsoon trough ITCZ line, they call it, because the winds come in from the top, they come in from the bottom. They help like a top. ZZ top, baby. Sharp dressed man. They spin it. So this is riding along that, and it's getting a little spin. It's going to pop off, and it's going to be heading basically that way. So that's what that looks like. Here's that Gaston. Got a little spin. You can see that, right? Cool map. And there's another one coming off of Africa. What's up with that? This reminds me of Irma back in the day. Irma actually had spin coming off of Africa before it even hit land. So the tropics aren't over yet by any means. All right. Here's the latest spaghetti models. They just came out. Man, everybody's computers are slow. National Hurricane Center supercomputer went down today. I don't know if that's ever happened. So they were posting all over the place that their computers were down. They had a reboot. Luckily, it's back. The 6Z models came out a little slower today because the big National Weather Service computer took a dump. So Mark's on lunch at ABC. Well, heck, man, which one are you at? That's awesome. Good morning, Pamela, from the beautiful Gulf Coast. I'm supposed to be heading to Talladega. I don't know what's going on. I made a mistake last week. I mentioned two things, camping and quiet, and the next day, bam. It's like every time I mention camping, we get a storm. For years now, I've had to cancel a lot of trips because of the dang tropics. All right, so these just came out. These are Invest 98. Here's what I'm seeing. I don't think the trend is Eastern Gulf, Florida. Okay, we have a front coming down on Tuesday. That's pretty strong signature of a cold front coming down Monday, Tuesday of next week. So the new models have not gone west. They've gone kind of a little bit to the east. So again, I'm sticking with it. Florida, peninsula, maybe a little bit of the upper Gulf Coast. But we've seen this path a lot over the years, and that's where we're at. So, I'm going to show you all the ensembles. We're going to look at all the individual model runs, but these just came out 12Z. These are tropical tidbits, and you can generally see that bend northward. And fronts this year has been the story. Fronts have controlled everything this year with weather. That's why it's been so juicy up in the upper Gulf. The reason you've had rain all, like Kid Rock, right? You guys up on the Gulf Coast ain't seen the sun in 3 damn days. But that's because we had lingering fronts all year. That's why Earl curved. That's why Fiona curved. That's why the high pressure was so far out in the Atlantic. We haven't had really a Cape Verde season. This front line will be controlling the eventual path of this system. The worry from everybody is this. This area right here is the hottest ocean heat content of the season. There's expected to be a high pressure in the area, which is going to pretty much eliminate any sort of wind shear, which is upper level winds. We're going to already be in a La Nina setup. We're going to be in an enhanced phase of the MJO, which allows thunderstorm activity more than when we're suppressed. So everything's lining up for this to really intensify. Okay, there's no hype in that. That's what the models are showing. That is why the models are showing what it's showing. And we already know. Once it gets into the Gulf, we got loop currents, loop eddies to worry about. Even more hot water that help facilitate tropical systems into intensifying. So it wouldn't even matter if this was a tropical storm right here. It would have an ability to really rapidly intensify. Remember, 3 days out. I'm going to say it again. A lot of y'all pop in here, but we got a lot of people that don't come in here all the time. 9 storms have hit the continental U.S. that have been 150 miles an hour or more. 9 storms in history, recorded history. 8 of those were tropical storms just 3 days out. Okay, 8. So it doesn't matter what it is 3 days out. 3 days it could be a tropical storm. It hits these favorable conditions, look out. And that's what is bad. So the only good news possibly coming for continental U.S. is we could see this potentially even recurving, maybe missing Florida. I've seen this a bunch. We say we look for trends. We're going to see little wiggles. We're going to see them come back. We're going to see little wiggles. We're going to see them come back. But there are ensembles showing this thing actually intensifying and pulling up super duper fast and possibly even missing Florida. So there is that chance. I will put that out there. We're starting to see this turn. The latest Euro came in a little farther south, so it's trending a little bit east. That's going to forward speed it a little bit. I mentioned this yesterday. Timing, we could see impacts as early as Monday, Tuesday down in the Keys. If this thing turns and accelerates, we could be looking at impacts in South Florida in less than a week. Midweek, Thursday. This is the timing. So, kind of been showing this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday maybe. So I mean, it's a quicker turn. Means a stronger system, means it's going to be here quicker. All right, so let's look at some ensembles here. These are great to look at. I usually don't share intensity models, but I can believe it this time. They're definitely seeing a possibility of a major hurricane developing down the road, 5 days plus. So, but here's your ensembles. These are always great to look at. Let's take a look at all these and digest them. 6 Z's just came out. These only go out, I think, 90 hours? So that's the general thinking with the Euro. And here's kind of what, let's go back to the zeros early. Let's go back to what I'm seeing with the Euro. Here's the Euro. This is overnightweathernerds.org ensembles. All right. So what we saw with Fiona with the Euro, we talk about biases and what models, you can learn a lot from the last storm. Euro had quite a few originally that were weak in west. Had a lot more yesterday. Yesterday it had a lot of ensembles going off into the Yucatan. So the big change from yesterday to last night was less now are showing the Yucatan. So now it's catching up. I posted that yesterday with the 2 little circles. But overall, you can see that they're starting to hone in a little bit more on this turn up. And the black line is the mean, which is the average of the ensembles. So, yeah. But look, like I said, there's a chance that this could actually miss Florida. But the bottom line is Florida Peninsula at this point is definitely watching the closest, in my opinion. So your latest GFS ensembles here are this. And, we have a few going into the Gulf, yes. So, again, Middle Eastern Gulf to Florida. But you can see the black line is the average mean so far. But, again, don't take your eyes off at Yucatan. Don't take your eyes off at Upper Gulf. Texas, like we said yesterday, I don't know. With the cold front coming, it just doesn't even seem possible that this thing would reach past Middle Gulf westward. And we showed this yesterday a lot. I showed it on Monday a lot. we've been watching the progression of this cold front coming down. Latest surface charts here show it. Day 7. There it is, Tuesday. Look at that. That is a pretty strong signature of a cold front Tuesday next week. So anything that's down here isn't going to push through that cold front. There's no way. So this is bringing hope that this thing could possibly miss Florida altogether. So that's kind of the trend we're seeing a little bit. And again, that cold front's going to kind of stall out here on Wednesday. And look, we're starting to see a low right here popping into the official chart here. So, but this will change a little bit. So there you go. Cold front's going to control a lot. They always do. They always steer northeast along with the cold front line. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Some other models here. Let's show you real quick on the Southwest Water Management site. Let's pull that one up. Where the heck is it? Right here. Here you go. So this one goes a little farther down the road. We don't have the 1200Z Euro now because it updated with the 6Z, so it's only down here. But there you go. What do you think? I posted last night. What do you think? What do you think? Come on, Trent Hogg says, come on, cold front. Jason says 90 to Panhandle. Hey, it's actually true. It's 81 here in Oldsmar. My dad said it got down in the 60s in Palm Harbor the other day. It feels cool. This is where it gets kind of freaky this time of year because you kind of know something's up. So anyway, that's nothing official with that. Bobby brings up a good point. I mean, it could stall, but a stronger system typically is controlled by upper level winds, and we should have a high pressure, building over here, which would accelerate our system fast. So that's that. Let's look at some individual model runs. Let's hope Tropical Tidbits is up, man. His site's been really getting overused for sure. The whole world's on it. I got the whole world on my website. Let's take a look at all their models now, and we'll take a looky. So first off, listen. All right, so let's talk about some things. Let's talk about it. So at this point, like I said, nobody should be worried right now at all. The only people worried in the tropics right now should be Bermuda because they have hurricane force winds coming Thursday night. That's a guarantee. As far as this system goes, obviously the Caymans, we're going to show that progression. This thing, unfortunately, could be over them. Jamaica, it looks like it's going to be just developing by the time it's south of you over the weekend. But the Caymans are definitely watching our good buddy John down there. So that's a big concern. I would be more worried in the Caymans right now than anywhere else. As far as the continental U.S., we're at the being aware point at this point. I mean, nobody should be boarding up any windows yet because, unless it takes you 5 days to do it. Nobody should be, panicking, but definitely be doing things like checking those generators out, making sure they run, they always say have a plan, that mentally have a plan, right? I mean, I have a lot of good links on my site, right here on the top. National Weather Service, plan and prepare, right there, boom. There's a lot of great information on that. So, at this point, it just is be good to touch up on those type of things. That if it looks like you're going to be in that official NHC cone, which is, still ways away, we would see a 5-day cone probably for South Florida. If you were going to be in the cone, you would be probably in the cone on as early as like Friday. So yeah, I mean, in 2 days we could start seeing an NHC cone possibly reaching up into Florida. So deep breaths. Like I said in before, I never mean to say hurricanes are a good thing, but the good thing about hurricanes are you have time to prepare. I mean, other natural disasters, they come up quick. At least a hurricane, you really got time. You got time. You kind of know. You don't get surprised But my gut feeling, as it was yesterday, I said it, all you guys know it. It just has that Florida Peninsula feel. And starting to see trends. It's becoming more confident than yesterday. So we'll see. We'll see. It's not even a developed system yet. But I will say this real quick. These are reasons that I got my eye on it still. Is we have vorticity maps that show lower level of vorticity, and it's very strong signature right now, even though it doesn't look like much. We have 800, we have 500 vorticity. You can see it very well. You can see it on the wind maps here really, really well. It's got a seed. I always call it a seed. I don't think that's official by any means, but anytime you got a system that's got spin, natural spin, it doesn't take much for it to get going once it's up in that Caribbean. So it's got what it takes. That's why the NHC is at 90%. So heck, maybe it won't do anything. I don't know. All right, so let's look at the individual model runs real quick. This is the latest Euro from overnight. We'll see what the 00Z said. These are on tropicaltidbits.com. The two things to note are this. One is the size of the system is expanding in the Gulf, which means it's going to be widening that wind field. And the bad news about something like that is it's going to be pushing a lot of storm surge. So a larger widening system, unfortunately, becomes a bigger storm surge story along with the winds. If it does ride that front and get on out of here, then the good news would be maybe not that much of a rainmaker. It's not going to sit and linger if it gets on out of here. That's a good thing. So you're rooting for a fast-moving storm regardless, because that would at least eliminate rain chances as much as a stalling system. But you still got to worry about surge and, of course, wind, tornadoes, all that fun stuff that you get. So yeah, 06 are the latest, Jeff. Yep, this is the only problem with the 06 Euro. At least it doesn't go out past 90 hours. So let's see if it loads. Let me hit play. I guess I can talk. I should have hit play, let it load. There we go. It's loading. I guarantee. All right, so here we go. This is Sunday. Same pattern we saw yesterday. A slow developing system right below Jamaica on Sunday. Then the big concern is going to be the islands, the Caymans here, is how fast it develops. It could be sitting right on top there about Sunday, Monday, 994, or it could be already a hurricane by then. Crosses over Cuba, 977, and then it's, develops it fast, 954. Now see the path is a little farther south. See that curve coming? I mean, it does bring it up into the Carolinas. We have to talk about that. I just found myself being guilty as everybody else, talking about landfall and not where it goes next. So yeah, 100%. I can't really say East Coast too much because there's a lot of factors of how much land and if it goes there. But definitely in the East Coast, you'd be watching for this to exit, and possibly coming your way. So here's the timing. This is Tuesday and Wednesday morning. So it's still a little slower. I mentioned Monday, Tuesday. This is Tuesday, Wednesday. This is Wednesday morning right here. So you might start feeling effects later Tuesday night. But unfortunately, it's right over the Keys into South Florida. That's the latest Euro. And yes, the East Coast should be watching close. Yesterday's Euro went a little bit north and into Tampa as she loads here. Come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Forrest. All right, and here's yesterday's Euro track actually there. So, I mean, not a big wibble, not a big change, but, not much at all. And again, the GFS has been trending, and this whole general area right here is still been favored. The only trends that we're seeing is maybe this will end up hopefully missing Florida altogether, but it at least puts the trend on the Eastern Gulf. All right, there's the GFS, or yesterday's Euro. So we'll see what the afternoon Euro says. All right, so the latest GFS didn't do too bad with Earl. I'm giving it another shot. It did pretty good with Fiona. Here's the 6Z. I haven't even seen it yet because it was delayed a few hours. So let's let this load. Charleston, I just said it. What about Charleston? Well, what about if it makes that exit and gets over that Gulf Stream, it could still be a strong storm your way. All right, so let's see if the 6Z loads up. Caymans, Jay, I just mentioned you, bud. Definitely be watching. You could have a hurricane on top of you early week. It's going to develop fast, it appears. Here's the latest GFS. Keeping it in the panhandle. This is next Thursday. See how wide it is? So here you go. Trends are very consistent. That's really not a lot of spread. You know, a little wiggle. You remember Charlie, right? Charlie was coming straight up Tampa Bay. Just a tiny little wiggle pole. Totally. Tampa didn't even get a storm cloud. It went down in Punta Gorda. So, you know, we're seeing that classic turn. When's it turn? You know. If it comes out of Cuba, it'll continue that turn, you know. So if you're worried about Tampa, Big Bend, Panhandle, it would actually have to be probably west of Cuba some, because eventually it appears it's going to, be affected by that cold front during the week. GFS hasn't really shown that cold front that much, but that's the latest 6Z. Important thing to note, though, is how fast it develops, and that just makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's going to be entering the most conductive environment ever for tropical systems down in the Gulf of Mexico, and we know how fast systems can intensify down there. So last night's 00Z. This is the overnight run with the GFS 940. Man, the Caymans need to be watching really close, okay? This thing could be scooting by as a really close pass hurricane. And again, it would be Sunday, Monday. Here's last night's 00Z on the GFS. And it loading slow here, but she'll pop in about right there. We'll leave it right there and see if it'll load up. So yeah, everybody's worried, but hey, there's just no confidence right now. But man, you know, you got to note the trend the Euro has made a little bit farther east turn. You know, we're within a week. So modeling should become a little clearer. Every 12 hours, we should still start to see a little bit more clear probability. Longer it takes to develop, the less it turns, you know. So right now, your ensembles are your friend. These operational runs, like I said, they bounce around so much. But what we've seen basically is, you know, this area right here, and it makes that almost looks like Florida to me. But I am starting to get a little feeling that maybe this thing will turn out of here. Possibly, but man, that's too close for comfort for South Florida. For sure. All right, so let's go back and look at these ensembles again. I put them together side by side here earlier today. Let's pull that up. This was your latest ensembles. So yeah, there's still widespread in thinking, you know. The black line is the mean. Probably the only good news for Tampa is that it's pointing at you right now, because we all know things change. But we also see windshield wiper effects. You know, we might see this thing go south a little bit east, and we might see it come back. So, you know, you get bigger spreads the more days you go out, and then it end up coming right back to where it all began. That's what happened with Irma. We saw East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Like, you know, the ensemble spread was wide. In fact, I should find that. That was a really good lesson to kind of go and look at. We'll pull this up, take a look at it. This was your history of Irma. Spaghetti models for Irma. Let me slow down a little bit. Claire. So, hype and storms. Listen, I've seen this way too many times. Dorian, Michael, Irma. This has already got a rotation to it. It's already got a seed. It's going to blow up into a very strong hurricane. That's just my opinion, but I've seen it way too many times. The environmental conditions appear very conducive. So, you know, that is becoming very likely that we're going to see that. And it's not because the models are saying it. It is because the models are saying it. You know, people always, you know, I covered Michael, and a lot of folks joined our page back in Michael. And 3 days out, Michael, let's just talk about Michael. We got time. This is why I like these little chats. By the way, Sheila is my administrator. She helps me. Anybody know that story? Actually, her name's Shelly. Hey, are you going on the MWP cruise? Are you guys fans of Mike's weather page? How did Michael pop up? Michael, if you're fans of Mike's weather page, you have to come on our cruise. It's in March. We have the most amazing time with all of our friends and families. So please check it out. We would love to have you. All right, so let's look at the 5-day cone from Michael. All right. So this is what scares me about things. All right, so Michael, let's just do the 3-day cone. The 3-day cone. So the 5-day cone kind of showed what I wanted to show. Stop. All right. So when Michael first came out, it was down here in the Caribbean, about 4 days from landfall. And originally, the official strength was only a tropical storm. Only a tropical storm. That's what the official cone said. All right. But the models were all showing 930, 940, you know, very strong system. So that's when I started sharing that stuff. And I take a lot of heat sometimes because I share long range modeling, but when you have model consistency, is, you know, every meteorologist has a choice of what they want to share or how they want to share it or how they want to say things. I mean, just a word can change the tone of how you present news or weather, you know. So I'm always very careful what I share. You know, I only share things I believe in. And a lot of the times when you see consistency with models, it's worth sharing, you know. And with Michael, I was sharing, oh my God, you know, and it ended up being, oh my God, it was a category 5. So, you know, Dorian was the exact same setup. It was only expected to be a tropical storm hitting Florida 5 days out. So the NHC starts out real conservative on their wind speeds, you know. No, not knocking them at all. That's just what they do. So the fact that we're seeing models showing 9, 20, 30, 40 millibar, man, you know, I'm sure the first cone, I would hope they would start showing H and maybe M, because people, when they first saw this, they're like, it's a tropical storm. I don't need to get ready. That was 4 days from landfall. You know? How things changed, right? So here was Irma's spaghetti models. On September 5th, when did it make landfall officially? I can't remember. What date was it? Was it the 10th? The 10th. It hit the Keys on the 10th. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to get some coffee here. So listen, we're still thinking about our friends and families down in Puerto Rico. I got a friend, Gio. I texted him last night. He said it's terrible. The power's out. There's tons of flooding going on. We got our Furman power outage map here we can take a look at. They still got 1 million people without power in Puerto Rico. So let's not forget about that. It sucks to have a new storm, and we kind of forget about the last storm. But, still 1 million people out of power down in Puerto Rico. So, and I have a lot of friends and family, not family, but friends that have family down there. So it's a bad deal for them. A little bit of good news here real quick I wanted to share. This was shared to me, which really made me feel good, and I want to share it with you guys, and we're going to get back into the storm. But apparently Turks and Caicos were using our site, and this is their official Turks and Caicos government office page, and somebody sent me a picture where they were doing a live stream using our page. So that really is cool. Means a lot. It really does mean a lot, because we're helping people, and I spend a lot of time on the website, spend a lot of money on the server to make sure it doesn't go down. And when you see another country down in the Caribbean using our site, it really meant a lot to me. And there it is right there. See this government meeting? There's Mike's weather page. So that was really cool. Meant a lot. So I wanted to share that with everybody. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's proof that people obviously watch us from other areas. And there's no such thing as a fish storm. Remember that. The name of this storm is going to be Hermine. Somebody just asked Rebecca Stone. Thank you, Reggie King. Valerie, there's a weird chance that this thing crosses through Florida. Yes, the East Coast could be actually still feeling this storm. It could, if it's a major hurricane, this is real. Here's lesson top from Irma. If it's a 3 or a 4 hurricane, first off, the whole state of Florida is going to have hurricane effects, first off. Because they just don't weaken. They don't go from a 4 to nothing. They go 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Charlie, prime example. Everybody evacuated Punta Gorda. Charlie hit Orlando, and it was awful. So the stronger the system is cutting through Florida, and the faster the system is, if it does feel that cold front, which history says it will, and it's going to accelerate out of here, hopefully, it's still going to be strong on its exit. What Irma taught us is this. Very, very, very important to point this out. Irma was way the heck down here, right? And we had storm surge all the way up here. And we had flooding in Brunswick and Savannah and Jacksonville. Bad flooding. Even though the storm was on the Florida West Coast, it was such a large system, which this one's looking like it could be a large system. The East Coast is going to feel effects as much as possibly Irma did. And that people were caught way off guard with that. And a fast-moving system through... Oh, what the heck? Every time I close that thing, it does that. A fast-moving system through the state doesn't weaken it much. So we could have a hurricane force all the way through the state. So don't focus on the west side if you're on the East Coast. God, there's so much information to give out. I don't know how people can... Hopefully you watch this. But here's the spaghetti models with Irma. And September 5th, everybody was convinced it was going to be maybe even out to sea. The original Euro didn't even have it hitting Florida. But notice we had ensembles. These little gray lines are ensembles. So even back on September 5th, we had ensembles kind of through the Keys. So everybody was focused on the East Coast, but we had ensembles still showing West Coast. The next day came out. Holy cow. We had ensembles every which way, both sides of the state, right? This was kind of looking into the future. Remember when I talked about the windshield wiper effect? So September 6th, it went this way. September 7th, it went back to the East Coast. September 8th, it went back. And then it kind of homed in. So you kind of get this slow down windshield wiper effect. So what we can see with our system now is we're seeing that windshield wiper effect go to Florida. We might see it come back. Likely, it'll go back this way a little bit more. So this little shift to South Florida, if it comes back at noon, comes back a little bit, we could see another little, we're starting to see this wiggle wobble honing in, is what I guess I'm trying to say. And so here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days out of landfall, we were kind of in a really questionable state. This was 5 days out from landfall. So we're kind of in the same boat. Landfall would be around Wednesday. So by tomorrow and Friday, we'll still probably be in the same spot of these possibilities. But by, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to start to feel a lot more confidence. That probably made no sense at all. It did to me. Oh, I talk to myself a lot. Let me close some windows out here. So there's our front coming down next week. This is next Wednesday. Highly unlikely this is not going to affect the steering of our system. Everybody should be watching. But I'd be watching more here. And then maybe even here, if this thing does that. But usually they don't do that. Usually that frontal line, they just keep on trucking out to sea. So, but, let's have 2 watch levels. Level 1, and then level 2. And I just drew Mickey Mouse. No, that's more like an alien. I don't know what that is. Kind of looks like Stitch. What the hell is that? Sarah, are you watching at school? Is that Stitch? Did Daddy just draw a Stitch? I don't know. Hey, the spirit of Halloween. What the heck is it? Let's just give it some eyebrows and we'll just call it. All right. Anyway, so I wish it was easier. It's not. Hey, somebody just Daytona bum. We just got a new Cat 5 supporter. Look at that. Daytona bum. Look at that, Shelly. Appreciate it. It's angry. It's Hermine. But in all seriousness, confidence high. This is going to develop. Jamaica watching for later weekend, passing to your south. Cayman Islands really watching it. Cuba, I don't know if anybody watches us in Cuba or not, but it should pass over western Cuba, and then that's what it looks like today. It could change tomorrow. But we do have high confidence in the models. They're you could probably say Texas is kind of safe. That's probably safe to say. We're seeing less into the Yucatan than we did yesterday, so they're kind of all doing that. Nick says, what's the jet stream look like? Well, let's take a look at the jet stream, because that's kind of your front in a sense, right? I got a couple cool jet stream links here that have been shared to me over the years. Oh, God, I told Shelly I was tired this morning, man. All right. This is on ElDoradoWeather.com is a good link I found for the jet stream. And hey, Delia, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We had a couple of new ones. And then, is it Jackie James? Cool. Thank you, guys. Here's a jet stream on Thursday. Let's take a look what we got cooking. So here's that front line coming down. This is next Sunday. Oh, it only goes out Sunday. This model. Okay, well, that ain't going to work. Let's see. Here's another old school one. I don't even know if it works or not. This is net weather. It's a cool one, actually. Let's see how many days out it goes. First, we got to find America. I don't know where the hell that was at. I was like, no, ain't man. We got America. You see my America hat? I hope I get to go to Talladega to wear it. But I bought a Redneck Storm Chaser hat. This is so. It looks just like the guy on my shirt. So, America. I had to find America. I'm supposed to go to Talladega. God, I hope the tropics are behaving. I hope this sucker curves south of Key West and nobody gets hit. And we can go off to Talladega and be Ricky Bobby for a week. But that might be on hold. All right, so let's see. How far does this one go out? Nah, this one only goes out. Well, wait a minute. maybe it's not updating. This isn't really as good of a map as I thought. Oh, there we go. That's good. So here's 9/26. That would be Monday. So there's your jet stream on Monday. Obviously showing that big dip. Tuesday. It's actually starting to show our system. It only goes out there. So anyway, well, you know, it's going to be a little leftover subtropical, maybe jet here. But anyway, Tuesday it's really strong. That's probably what's going to initially pull it up, or start that turn northward. Levi's got some really good spots here we can look at too. We can look at 500 millibar. I always looking at 500 millibar. And, you know, we'll start to see that high kind of come in. There's that initial lift next Tuesday. The GFS is showing a little stronger ridge here, and then a secondary opening coming. The Euro's obviously just a little bit stronger. It's not going to load though. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Nope, still loading. You can do it, Forrest. All right, here we go. So here's the Euro. There's your weakness. There's our front coming down next Tuesday on the Euro 500 millibar. That's showing our high to the east, and that's going to help accelerate our system northward. High pressure, weakness, and the Euro continues that weakness, obviously, and you know it finds the gap. That to me makes the most sense right now. And the fact that the NOAA is actually showing it officially for next Tuesday, showing a pretty strong cold front coming down. So that's the confidence right now for that. We can look at another map here on Weather Nerds or weathermodels.com. I use the paid site, but it's fun to use sometimes. We can look at precipitable water. You can kind of see that front coming down next week. Here it comes. So here's your Euro precipitable water, and it's just another way to look at a cold front that I found very useful. Here's our system. Moisture is yellows and purples. This is dry air. This is your front coming down. This is Monday. And, you know, that's kind of classic, you know, initial turn and pull. You know, there's that little bit of Carolinas to be watching. But that's history right there. And that's kind of what the trend is for now. So, like I said, man, anything can change. You know, at this point, we're just looking at trends. We're looking at models, looking at ensembles. And that's good. We'll have new ensembles out by GFS will be done around 1 maybe. European ensembles are usually out around 3 p.m. So, yeah, Brian Daniels, North Carolina. The UK model still runs. We can look at it. I haven't looked at it in forever. You know, I got some other links on here some people might like. I got this experimental probability map, 5-day map. Some people still use it. You click on the 5-day. Kind of shows you some general trends. This is the Euro, GFS. Should have the UK. Here's the UK. Long range, short range. Here's the latest UK thinking. There you go, UK track. So that, you know, it's on board. Here's the latest. This was overnight. This was yesterday's. No, wait. Initialized 9:20. Oh, yeah, yesterday's afternoon Euro. So that was your UK. We can look at it here, too. Let's see. It didn't go out that far on this, I don't think. And yes, that's a dog snoring. I know somebody's probably asked by now. It's Little Hunter. I should go grab Little Hunter. We haven't looked at him in a while. All right, here's the latest UK. And there she is. This is Tuesday, $9.95. So the UK, there's our Caymans, $9.99. This is on Monday. Let's look at hey, you know what? We got we don't have we do have an invest. All right, well, there you go. We showed all the other models. Here's the latest Euro, showing a big widening system into South Florida now. But, 957. If you go back to the old Saffir-Simpson scale days here, the prior 950s could be Category 3. The old Saffir-Simpson scale. They don't rank systems anymore other than wind speed. All right. No, I brain dead there for a second. I was going to show something else. I don't remember what it was. Hey, real quick, let's talk about Bermuda real fast. So officially, the 3-day cone here. Let's pull this up real quick. I know we got people in Bermuda. I told them we'd talk about it after Fiona. So we got a hurricane watch now. Just a new update at 8 a.m. Hurricane watch is up now. Interesting. Didn't see that before. There's our cone. The good news is that the storm is not expected to make a direct landfall. However, it is unfortunately going to be close enough that we're going to see probably hurricane force winds. I posted this morning for you guys because you'd wake up a little earlier than everybody else because you're an hour that way. But some of the wind gusts, this is late Thursday night, early Friday morning. The Euro showing, 90 mile an hour, GFS showing 100 mile an hour. It's going to be scooting by super duper fast. This is a good thing, but guaranteed to well, you can't say guaranteed to possibly. You're possibly going to get hurricane force winds, and that, you're almost deserving to have a hurricane warning up, even though you're not going to have a direct landfall. But you got tropical storm warnings up and possible 100 mile an hour winds. And that, is not good. I'm sure. I know the island's, resilient, but still 100 mile an hour winds can mess some stuff up. I said mess some stuff up. So here's the latest Euro. Check it out. Here's your wind gust map. And, we're looking at, 98 mile an hour, possibly coming in from the south side on approach as it comes off to the west. GFS, almost the same. And it's going to be mainly the worst winds are going to be early Friday morning. 100 mile an hour winds. So, the trend is definitely off to Bermuda's west side. It's been that way for days. Luckily, it hasn't changed. It's going to be fast moving, which is good. It's not going to linger. However, it will mess some things up. Here's the latest storm tracks well west of Bermuda. So, high confidence on this track. It's expected to be 140 mile an hour sustained winds, though. So I'm sure you're going to get some serious swells, 50-foot plus waves coming in from the backside as this thing rotates counterclockwise. So definitely going to be some serious waves to deal with for Bermuda. Maximum height here showing 50 to 50, holy moly, 50 to 55 foot waves. So that, and these are going to reach the East Coast states. I've been sharing this. I need to share this map. It's a good map. A couple days ago we did it. It didn't reach that far out yet. But look, man, we're going to see some serious waves here along the Carolina coast from Fiona as it passes by. So, yeah, look at this. This is an animated version of that. So we're going to start seeing waves from Fiona as soon as Thursday. That's what we talked about the other day. But look at this. Holy cow. Friday, we could start seeing 20-foot waves nearing the Outer Banks. Man, we could see 28, 30 foot. So that big time swells rolling in from Fiona. We knew that. But look at the swells here for Bermuda. We're talking 60, 70 feet waves, man. Category 4. That's some serious wave action out there. So I don't know how you guys prepare for that, but let me know. It's monster storm, not monster energy. And then we got people watching in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. My dad took me there. The Bay of Fundy. I remember the tides rolling in. Very famous for the tides there in Nova Scotia. But man, look at this. 936 pressure. You don't even have to know those winds are going to be strong. That's the GFS. Euro's even deeper. 930. So it does look like a direct hit to Nova Scotia. Just north of Halifax. We got a lot of people up that way. And that timing's going to be Friday night into Saturday. Same time frame. Big storm. It doesn't look like Newfoundland's going to get a lot out of this. They're going to get some winds rolling in. But the main direct hit definitely looking pretty intense. 930 millibar on both the GFS and the Euro. So that's a big storm coming this weekend for them. So highest tides in the world, dub. Yep, I remember that. Remember the tide water just flying in, man. I remember bagpipes. They had bagpipes playing. I'll never forget. So surf's up, dude. It is a Category 4, yes. Let's see what the latest 11 o'clock was. There's my ABC thing. Goodbye, ABC. We're going to close you out. I should be hanging out there. Winds are 130 right now from Hurricane Fiona. That would be officially, I believe it's a 4, right? Is that right? I don't know. Get into this scale thing. Yeah, it's a strong 4, actually. Oh, it's bottom end. I was looking at knots. 130 is the threshold for a 4, so it is officially a Category 4. So we got a lot to talk about. And I don't even know about that wave behind. I'm not even going to care about it right now. Actually, you know what? The one that I showed coming off is actually marked. So for some reason, there you go. That's why it's orange. Remember we started the show an hour ago. I showed the spinach over Africa. Well, that's this system here. They have it marked already orange and going north. This is the one. I don't know. What do they even say about it? 30% dry environment. What we've seen all year. So Fiona lost all convection, popped on through here, and obviously made it. This system that we're watching now did the same thing. It didn't look really good over all this dry air, and now it's survived that dry air. So that's 3 systems now that have sprung off of Africa that have dealt with dry air and have made it out to the other side, and now we're potentially watching it. So Fiona, and look at it, it actually looks pretty healthy, believe it or not. Look at that. This is 98. This is the one everybody's watching. But this is the new guy. And if history repeats itself, could be what we're watching next. And this is the one that had the spin that I saw, but it's actually already marked by the NHC going north. That's odd. So there you go. All right. Hermine is the next name on the list. Yep. I don't know why they blocked that comment out. Weird. Gotta be careful. Facebook blocks a lot of comments out. So if you see your post not there, it's likely just an automated bot that did it. I don't think we'll get a PTC. Well, that's a good point, Bob Daly. It could be a developing system off south of Jamaica on Sunday. So let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe tomorrow. Or it could be developed by then. It's 90%. Hey, Vinny. Vinny News Network. Where do I think it's going, Katie? Well, I said it yesterday. I'm afraid to be wrong. I said Florida West Coast yesterday. I'm sticking to it, right or wrong. Don't go evacuate now because of what I said. Natalie, yes, keep a close eye on it for sure. Looks like it's going to try to develop just south of Jamaica and head your way. Maybe what? Monday, maybe? Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Monday. You always got to be careful on a system too, because if and I found myself doing this storm chasing. Doesn't matter where the eye is, because let's go to the tropical tidbits. This is something I always forget. A lot of people probably forget. I forget a lot of things. So let's look at the euro on tropical tidbits here. Had a good Taco Tuesday. How about you guys? Well, we get all kinds of weird things blocked here. Let's see. Marco Island Center for Arts. Hey, good to see you. Liz, you're right. Little inside joke here we have on Mike's other page. Happened 2 years ago during 2020. Anytime, come on, we're almost there. You can do it. I feel like that guy in that commercial with the dollar bill. Come on, you can do it. All right, so let's say the euro is right. So we're focused on the I. I need to go out a little farther than that. How can I get more of the U.S.? I guess we can just go right here. So when we're focused, well, I didn't even really zoomed it out too far. I tell you what, let's go to windy. This is what I want to show. If you focus too much on the eye wall and the pinpoints that you see, you forget that you're going to start seeing effects way before that. So, for example, here's the euro. So let's say the NHC has this marked here for Tuesday morning, let's say. Well, this is Tuesday, 10 p.m. All right, let's say that's Tuesday, 10 p.m. You might think, oh, it's not going to get here yet, right? Well, look, you're already getting winds in South Florida. So the effects get to you way before the center does. And obviously, the larger the system. So if you're planning on anything, you don't say, oh, Tuesday, I'm safe Tuesday night because it's going to be below Cuba. Well, if it's a widening, deepening system, we're going to start seeing effects, Tuesday afternoon in South Florida, even though the center is way the heck down south. Or we might see hey, Hunter, what are you doing? Hunter's really going, Hunter, I'm going to go get Hunter. We'll end the show with Hunter. Come here, buddy. I think he was dreaming or something. God, you poor dog was going. Come on, man. Enough of that snorting. There's a little Hunter. I just woke him up. So anyway, we might see a Wednesday PM here, is what I'm getting at, but you're going to start seeing effects way earlier. So you got to remember that. I sometimes race to these storms like a Yahoo storm chase. I'm like, oh, I don't have to be there till Wednesday. Well, no, things start going downhill way before that. So you're going to start feeling effects, early part of the week. Right, buddy? Right. And, we'll just continue this on. This is, let's say the euro's right. 970. Hopefully not that bad, but 970 is not good. But right over the Keys. This is on Wednesday, 7 p.m. That's the Euro GFS systems a little farther to the west. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Not a lot of mileage, if you think about it. Small little wiggle wobbles are going to make a big difference. Remember Charlie heading towards Tampa, made a teeny wee little turn, went down to Punta Gorda. Tampa didn't even get a rain cloud. So we're way too close to try to pinpoint anything. The main thing at this point is timing and upper level winds and knowing that, hey, this time next week, We're less than 7 days away. This is Invest 98, Aaron. Cute little face. Well, thank you. Have you seen my dog? He's a little puppy. We took him to Taco Tuesday last night. They're getting a little bit more used to people. Oh, you're a good boy. You love you, little puppy. Oh, you good boy. Yeah. He's the cutest little thing. What's up, Mr. Chris? Here's my boy. He's my boy. What's up, buddy? All right. Well, listen, I'm not going to drag this on anymore. I've pretty much covered everything. What's happening. So that's what we got. Nothing we can really do right now. We just got to sit back and wait, watch models, and, that's it. I mean, let's, for example, look at rainfall for the euro. Just talk about that. Let's pretend that the euro is correct. And we'll look at potential rainfall if it does take that South Florida turn. A lot of rain. Shelly, sorry. We were talking about this earlier. I'm like, well, if it's fast moving, you might not get a lot of rain. Well, sorry. I was wrong. Hey, no. Okay. Let me context that. You won't get Harvey rain because it's not going to stall. But that's a lot of rain. Sorry, Shelly. That's the latest track. Now, listen. Same thing as we talked about with Fiona. A track to the north. This rain line is going to follow where our storm goes. So if our storm's more to the north, that means you're going to get a foot of rain somewhere else. So this is just based on the latest Euro track. And purple is a foot of rain. Shelly, I was wrong. That's a lot of rain. We can look at the 00Z and look at what it showed because it showed a little higher track yesterday. The 12Z. Here's what it showed yesterday. See the difference that just 12 hours made? It showed a little more landfall to the north. So all you're really looking at this point is wherever it ends up going, you're going to get a lot of rain. If it takes this path, Shelly, you won't get any rain. Not that much. So anyway, that's what we got. So we'll keep an eye on it. Here's the timeline for the rest of the day. Whew. All right, so around 11, we get a new NHC update on Fiona. But as far as models go, by around noon, we'll start getting the CMC, GFS, and Icon will run. Euro's out around 2 o'clock. And then we'll have a bunch of ensembles out by 3 o'clock. I'll post them. We'll watch for any trends. And I'll do a quickie little YouTube video around 4 or 5. And then we'll probably go live tonight. Probably. So watch for that. And definitely tomorrow. So there you go. That's it. So hey, listen, thanks everybody. Remember, I mentioned the cruise. Check it out. We got a lot of people on here that don't come all the time, but we do have our second annual cruise coming up. We got some big dogs. Rumor is Reed Timmer might be coming. My buddy James Van Fleet, the chief meteorologist from Royal Caribbean. So, ton of fun. We booked 100 cabins. We locked in the rate, thank goodness, because they've gone way up. And it's during spring break for most people. So you can bring your kids. We're bringing our kids. If you're in the industry, I'm going to do a hurricane preparedness seminar on the ship, which you'll get a certificate of completion. So that'll be worth something. The paper it's written on. We have an awesome swag bag we're going to do. We got meet and greets. We got a free happy hour. We got tons of fun on Coco Cay planned for kids and adults. We're doing a pre-cruise party the Sunday before on land, and that's going to be open to our Brew Crew members that are supporters of our page. So look for that. This is all in March. So hopefully you check that out. Big old button here, sign up here, and our good friend Kim Shipley will reach out to you and help you get going on that. And there you have it. All right. That's it. Make sure you got your notifications turned on. I do have an app And I do a lot of notifications. If you look here, you should have got one just last night. A tropical storm Gaston forms way up in the Atlantic. Invest 98 is entering the Caribbean, and it's going to be one to watch. Maybe reaching the Gulf early next week. So I sent that out last night, and those are my notifications. You got really simple links there that you can click on. You do have to pay for the app, by the way. It costs me money, but it's not that bad. But there's simple links. Fiona, you click on that and you get all the latest really easy clicks. So people like it because it's easy to use. And of course you can watch the Daily Brew on there. I got all my videos on there saved live too. You can watch it live. A lot more stuff on there. So check it out. All right, we'll see y'all later this evening, more than likely. If not, for sure tomorrow morning at 9:19. All right.